I think it's important to separate out what is in the short term and what is in the longer term. It's very clear in the short term there is an oversupply of oil sitting around the world and the market. That is causing some inventory issues, supply chain issues, as we've experienced, particularly in futures markets earlier in the week. How we see this playing out over the next couple of weeks is that the inventories will continue to build in the United States. We're not quite past the lockdown periods yet in many areas of the United States, so demand is going to remain very, very weak. And so as a consequence, supply is continuing to move towards the United States. So we expect to see prices there come under pressure over the next couple of weeks again, even though we have had a little bit of a bounce from the dire situation we saw earlier in the week.
So does that mean that for a lot of the commodities, precious, base metals, oil included, Q2 would be a testing period, a tough time, but you'd be advising clients to start buying because you're getting more optimistic about base metals, commodities essentially broadly, aluminium, copper at large, and on gold as well. So is this the time to buy?
I think it's, again, it's really important to separate out the precious metals from the rest of the base metal space. Let me just go back to oil quickly for a second. When we look longer term for oil, clearly demand will recover. Now, demand may not recover to the level we saw prior to the virus. It may be more subdued for a longer period of time. However, at the same time, it's likely similar to the previous segment, which suggested that some of the oil producers simply won't be there by the end of the year. So consequently, some of the production won't come back either, at least in the short term. So the oil market is going to rebalance. It's going to start that rebalancing phase in the third quarter. And by the fourth quarter, we'll start to see actual a deficit market in the sense that demand will actually be rising at a quicker pace than supply. So consequently, we do have that recovery in oil prices.